Alright, I'm in the middle of this project, which is going to be putting on these Barricade HD, I think they're HD Extreme bumpers on this 2008 or 9 Chevy Silverado. I think the bumpers are 07 to 13. Got the front one installed here. I have a little bit more adjusting to do and then torque everything down. Did see that they put a video out on installing these, and just wanted to release a couple tips for that. Basically, they tell you just need a few hand tools, and it's more or less a pretty simple installation, which I'd say it's somewhat accurate. The problem that I ran into is, actually I'll show you guys here, some of these bolts wouldn't come out, and actually this is these two here. I actually had to cut that one off with a torch. The remains of it are laying down here. So, torch there. But basically I did have to heat up all the bolts. I actually had to cut a few of them, and I just don't see your average guy getting that done with average hand tools. So part of their video was just saying that kind of anyone could put these on, and it's a pretty simple, straightforward deal, which I'd say it's pretty straightforward. But what if you run into this scenario like I did and these bolts won't come loose? I've got snap-on impacts, I've got an air compressor that runs at 180 psi and still couldn't get these bolts off. So I think they're being a little bit I don't know what the best word for it is, but optimistic, I guess, on how straightforward this is. And I get it. I think they're trying to sell their product, so they're trying to make it seem like, hey, it'll take you 5 minutes, buy our product. I think that's where it's coming from, but hey, I could be wrong, and I don't mean to throw any shade their way. I just want to put out a little bit more accurate video on what it really takes to do one of these. Again, not just trying to counterbalance the video that I've seen released by them. But basically, pretty straightforward. Basic hand tools will get you halfway there. You're going to need a good impact. I have the Milwaukee stuff, I have some snap-on stuff, so if you had like the Milwaukee half-inch impact, I think that'd do you a lot of justice on this job. But if you run into a scenario like I did, you're going to need a torch or a way, like a DeWalt grinder cut-off wheel, to cut off the bolts that won't come out. But other than that, it is pretty straightforward. The other problem you run into, though, is alignment. It does have a ton of adjustability up and down to adjust your clearance across the front here, but your back and forth is quite limited. That's a problem in my mind. Not a huge deal, but it's definitely limited. And then the other thing is you have virtually no adjustment left to right. The problem on this one is it is a little bit more to the, let me double check here. It's a little bit more to the driver's side than it is the passenger side. There is a single adjustment to shim it one way or the other. The shims are maxed out. Well, now you have no more adjustment. So a few flaws in my mind. I think there is a way to remedy that, but you'd be cutting their brackets and widening them for more shim. So that becomes a problem. I have about an hour just in aligning this thing right now, and I think we're good. It's the closest it's going to get with what's provided, without getting any fabrication work. But almost just I see how you could be misled by watching the videos out there. So just wanted to put this out there to kind of balance of, hey, I think they're a good bumper, I think they're a good product, but be a little more prepared than what they prepped you for. Have a cutoff wheel, if all possible, have a torch. At a minimum, have a good impact gun. It'd be nice if you could spray everything down ahead of time with some penetrating oil, and definitely have a helper to help you align all this. But Nope, just trying to put out a little bit more of a information video here to help anyone that's going to be tackling this. I'll be doing the rear bumper next, so maybe that one will go a little smoother. But all in all, I'm happy with it. I think it's a nice product. And we'll get this thing wrapped up. Thanks.